Welcome back, everybody. I'm so sorry we're a few minutes late. We tried to get lunch for everybody in an hour and 15 minutes. Not possible. So I may readjust tomorrow's schedule to give us an hour and a half. So I'm sorry if you came and expected us to start at 1:30. I did put it up on GBA Talks, so you would all know you had a few extra minutes. But I'm very happy to introduce you to our next speaker, which is Michelle Hensley, another totally gifted and very professional businesswoman. So I'm so excited for her to talk to you. And Michelle, if you'll just kind of introduce yourself and let us know what you're talking about.
I will.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, Sharon. I'm Michelle Hensley. I am the owner, founder of Nifty Package Company. We are not just a gift basket, but we're on the luxury gift basket side as well as mobile gift wrapping. So a lot of you have probably seen some of the work we've done and been involved in some of the classes. But I'm going to give you a little bit. My topic today is how to handle the tough days. Tomorrow, I'll talk a little bit about the mobile gift wrapping and how you can add that to your business or consider that. But today, it's about the tough days. So I guess first thing I want you to do is put in the chat, have you had a tough day? Let's see. Yes. How about a tough week? How about a tough year? And I think many of you are familiar with my story. I became a widow at the age of 50, started my business at age 51. I was a homeschool mom. I was a pastor's wife. Never, ever thought I would lose my spouse and have to start life over. So I definitely know tough days, tough years. So I'm going to give you a little bit of insight as to what I have done and how I handle it. Is everyone open to that? Yay.
Yes.
Goodness. So be patient with me as I progress.
I didn't interrupt. Can you turn your volume up? Because mine's up as far as it goes and we're having trouble hearing you.
Sure. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Is it any better? Not really.
Oh, goodness.
Just talk loudly. We're
okay.
Small.
I will, and I get that a lot. So it's probably more me. Thank you for telling me that. Okay, let's go through the slides that I have prepared. See if I can, oops, there we go. Some of you know a little bit about me, again, as I share that I'm on a journey of not just creating a business, but a movement for women over 50 who have to rebuild their lives, whether that's through widowhood or you lose your job or you just want to get out of corporate. Or I speak to a lot of women in transition. So I'm now an author. I've actually published a book, and that's very exciting. We're probably #1 in the mobile gift wrapping space across the nation, and that was by a fluke. That was not by design. So I just want to say hi to each and every one of you, and good job on being here today. I'm just so excited about today and what we've been learning and everyone's story, and it's just so exciting. It's very inspiring. How many have been inspired so far today? You can put in the chat. You can hit a love button. Okay, let's talk briefly about how you can start to think about every day when you wake up. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, so I start the day off with prayer, reading my Bible every single day, and I've done that for the past 28 years. But then as soon as that's over, I jump into the CEO mode and responsibility mode. So when we were talking about core values earlier, which was great to hear everyone's thoughts on core values. We have personal core values that we all live by, but something that I challenge some of my coaching students to do is to look at the core values of your business life and what do these mean for you as a CEO. So it's a great way to just start out. How can I be better? How can I walk through these difficult days? So if you understand your core value of integrity, bring your whole self to work and create space for others to do the same. Recognize personal accountability, recognize and take accountability for your actions, and bring and allow yourself and your staff to take ownership of all responsibility for your results. Resilience, because we're going to have these tough days. Adapt to unexpected challenges, ask for help if needed, move forward and come back stronger. And everyone who has spoken today, and I know throughout the rest of the day and a half that we have here, everyone has encouraged you to reach out. So don't be afraid to do that. Ask for help. Everyone is so good about that. So good. Growth mindset, think about how I can as opposed to why I can't. Sometimes that's difficult to do, but it's just training the way you think and the way you talk. And success, accomplish your aim or purpose over time and assist others to do the same. And I think we see a lot, especially the social media side, which a lot of the gals who've been in business for many years have probably seen the transition, but we look at everyone's overnight success and we don't realize it's taken them 6 to 10 to 20 years to build that. So just know that it takes some time. So again, CEO mindset, as you are building your business and growing your business and selling your business, whatever you're doing, that you have you have personal affirmations on your own accountability. So number one, I take ownership of and responsibility for my results. Gosh, I was just so challenged by Anita and Twyla on, having a profit mindset, just thinking that way on a daily basis to remind us to do that. I will be the team member I want to have, and I will be the client I want to serve. These are the ways I think daily. So I'm committed to achieve my goals no matter what, even if I make mistakes, even if I experience unexpected challenges, and even if I'm not moving as fast as I'd like to be moving. So how do we make it through the tough days? So we've talked about that each of us have experienced these tough days. You can't avoid getting discouraged because that is going to happen when we start a business, because you will fail. You will be rejected. How many of you have been rejected in your business? Let's just talk business, not personal. We've all been rejected personal, but how about in your business? Put a yes in the chat. Yes. Yep. I love that. Yeah. You will screw up. How many have screwed up? So many times, you guys, it's just not even funny. How I've made it this far is beyond me. It is totally by God's grace. You will miss opportunities. And your teammate or client will make a mistake and you'll have to take responsibility for it. Has anybody had to walk through that? I have. Because you're the business owner, you're the leader. We know what it looks like when the business owner or leader doesn't take responsibility or own up to something. And even if you're not the one who's made that mistake, you are the leader. So the reality of hard work sets in, and you think to yourself, how can I do this? Oops, sorry. And I don't know about you, but sometimes you get a feeling of hopelessness or discouragement. Anybody felt that? So we know that business is a roller coaster, and sometimes things are just not going to go right. They just aren't. Cost of doing business on your emotions, the cost of doing business on your pocketbook and your family can be very high. You start out with this. Is there a chance? Is this something I can build? Can this grow? And you launch your business. And then the reality of the hard work sets in, the year in, the year out, the day in, the day out, the month in, the month out. But there is growth. Then we know there is stagnation. And then we know there are challenges. That although there is this emotional roller coaster, it's not the end. It's actually just the beginning. So a little bit of a reality that I had to deal with at the end of 2022, and that was I lost about $35,000 in revenue. Again, going back to something Twyla said, I took a lot of great notes, and she said this: if you don't have a profit mindset, you're already in trouble. And so during that, and Michael Gerber, because she also references that book, makes a great statement, and he said this: a lot of times we will build a business or something, And we don't realize how we made the money or how we lost the money. And if that's the case, then you're being impertinent. And I had to really do an evaluation at the end of 2022. And it was, what did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? How did I lose this money? And I had to go back and evaluate the entire year. And I had realized that there was a 35, I know all of you have experienced this probably in the same year. There was a 35% shipping increase on everybody, everything, shipping into us and shipping out to our clients. And if you didn't take that into account, like I did not, and you don't raise your prices, then you're going to suffer loss. The other thing is there was a 30% cost of goods increase, which I did not account for because we did so much business in 2022, but I lost a lot of money. So at the end of that year, going into 2023, I felt so much like a failure. Has anyone walked through that, those feelings? Like, I shouldn't be in business anymore. Like, I just made the worst decisions. I didn't realize what was going on. I didn't realize fast enough, and I still took a big loss. Did anybody experience that? Right. You guys are helping me here. Thank you. So the reality is, this is life, right? It's our reality. We as women, although there are men in this business, we experience things at a different level emotionally. We have a tendency that even if we're going through these difficult moments ourselves, we're still supporting everybody else. We support their emotional life, whether it's our spouse or our children or our friends or our co-laborers, and we work with them based on their roles as well. So it's not just affecting our own emotional well-being, we're supporting others at the same time. So in this circle, we have growth, we have obstacles, and we have stagnation. And then in the center of that is our reality. Like, what is our reality? We happen to see it right in the middle. And again, something that men do different is they actually don't deal with their emotions the same way we do. So success is not final, failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill said that. It was a great quote. But you can't avoid getting discouraged at times when starting, running, and scaling a business, because it's going to happen. So for me, as a believer and trusting the Lord at all times, I daily sit with him and ask questions in my darkest days, and he helps me carry my greatest burdens. So obstacles make us emotional, but when we keep those emotions in check by saying, no, I'm not going to have that emotion, then we can start to think differently. But I think because we're emotional, we can sometimes let those feelings run rapid. So instead of me feeling like a failure, I could have been thinking, which eventually I did, okay, this is a lesson learned. I'm going to do better. I'm going to grow. What do I need to learn? What lesson am I learning in this? So when that happens, you kind of have to separate your feeling, not become a stoic, but you have to think, what's my reality and what can I do and how can I be resourceful? And I think that's probably something I've learned over the years, especially after losing my husband. And think about it. I knew nothing. I hadn't been in the workforce for years. I didn't have somebody to support me. I had to do all these things on my own. So I failed miserably, but I kept failing and growing at the same time. But if your friend came to you and she said to you, I'm really struggling and this is what's going on in my business, you wouldn't even think emotionally. You'd give her a hug, you'd tell her you love her, and then you would help her see what she needs to see. How can you help her and encourage her in her business without her feeling like a failure? So we have to kind of do that with ourselves. So right now, think about what's happening in your business that's discouraging or difficult. And it'd be great if you put it in the chat, because no one's going to care. We care about supporting you and supporting one another in difficult times. Are you out of finances? Are finances a struggle? Do you not have enough sales? Are you just plain tired or weary? You want to take a nap for like a week? Worried about the busy holiday? Worried that you're not going to have enough business? The client might be upset with you. So put it in the chat, anything that you might be battling. We all know we're walking into holiday. Are we prepared? You know, anything that might be discouraging. It's always sales, yeah. Writing proposals and clients not ordering fast. Very good. So ask yourself, going back to the question that, gosh, I want to say everyone asked this morning, and that was, what is your vision? Why did you start your business? Like, what was behind that? Oh, I'm sorry, Danielle. You know, why did you start your business? So think about it and put it in the chat. Why, what made you think I'm going to start a gift basket business? What is your vision and what was that? My vision is to bring joy to not only my client, but their recipient. And then it's also to help other women grow a business, because I work with women growing their gift wrapping business. Yes, sorry. Thank you for saying that, Lisa. So consider it if it's still your passion. Is it your passion? Is it your passion to run your own business? Is it your passion to have a gift basket business? Is it your passion to be successful? Create income, to have a side hack. That's good, Kimberly, to help your clients establish, build, and maintain relationships with their clients. That's great, yeah. So everyone talked about that again today, but the important thing, and I think it was probably all three, Twyla, Sharon, and Terry, you know, do you have to pivot? Do you have to change to work and manage your health? But that's okay. That's your why. Lisa, that's your why. So your dream and your vision is to build your business, but what's your why? And consider if it's still something that you're passionate about, and consider pivoting if you need to. So I started my business, for most of you who are familiar with my business story, I got to fast forward here, is that I hadn't been in the workforce for many years. And so I've been raising a family, supporting my husband and homeschooling our 7 children. I had a lot of children I was raising. His first wife passed away from the same cancer that he passed away from. So fast forward without going through all that story, because I'll tell you a little bit about that tomorrow. But I had to go back to work. I had to create an income. I had 0 income. The church paid me for a year, and then I had to go back and rebuild my life. So I had somebody offer to interview me and offer a position within a company. So I went and interviewed with this person, and he said, you know, Michelle, you're going to be working 60, 70 hours a week. And I just got tunnel vision that, you know, my dream is to be corporate successful when I was young, but my dream and vision had not been this. Mine was to raise good, godly children who paid their taxes and did well in life. I can't control them to accept Christ, but I could definitely be an influencer for them. So I still had 2 children at home that I was homeschooling and had to get out of graduate out of high school. So drove home that day, and I thought, gosh, is there any way I could
by Marriott? My room may help you.
If there was any way I could start a business where I could work when I wanted and could.
Okay, if I can place you on a brief hold, I'll be able to assist you.
Yeah, I think someone might need to mute their speaker. So driving home that day, I thought, is there a way I could start a business where I could work when I wanted and could? And if I like that idea, would other women like that idea? So I headed home. I didn't have the gift basket business in my mind at that moment, but I love the Uber business model. Absolutely love that people could work when they wanted and could. And could I learn to work remote? I'd already been doing that with my nonprofit. I had a nonprofit feeding the working poor, those who were working in jobs but couldn't afford food. That was huge to me because I was in Southern California during those very dark years. Anyway, so got home and my son said, hey, Mom, why don't you start that gift basket business you had when you were young? So I said, is anybody interested in doing this and learning to work remote? And they said, yes, that's how it started. I had been used to giving things away in my nonprofit. I was also a counselor. I have a master's in counseling, and everything was pro bono because I didn't have to think about money. But now I had to learn how to earn an income, which was so opposed to what I had been doing for many years. So anyway, that's what brought me into the gift basket business and how I launched that. So why did you start your business and what is your story? And something I want to encourage you, we've got a lot of great things. I'm just so excited about what we've all learned today, just to be inspired with everyone coming together and everyone's different jobs and what they do. It's just so cool. But going back, why did you start your business and what is your story? Because your story is part of your marketing. Like that's about you. When you go to share your story. So I talked to you about when I got back, and then in 2018, praying and reading the Bible, looking outside, seeing that my van wasn't being used all the time is when I actually started the gift wrapping side. But now the gift wrapping side for me is 70% of my business. It's a very big part of what we do. So success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. And I think we're all heading into the holiday, so we're all going to be very busy. So as we were taught today, reevaluate your goals and reignite your passion. Go back to your why you started your business. Go back to your origin story. What made you start your gift basket business? It doesn't have to be something like mine. It could be something, Terry has a great story about how she started. So does Sharon. I don't know Twyla's story and how she started, but I'm sure it's an incredible story. So it's just learning to remind yourself of why you started your business. So how do I push through the difficult moments and tough days? Let me see the time. Sometimes I hear people say things and they're very cliche. How do I push through those difficult and tough days? But truly, how do you do that? So some thoughts to consider. And sometimes we can't do these things. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a sole provider. So I don't have time to just go and relax on a daily basis or whatever. I take breaks, but I'm up very early in the morning and start my business very early just because of where we're at. But some practical tips for pushing through the difficult times would be number one, self-care. Self-care is business care. So if you start to feel discouraged, what I do is I put my phone plugs in my ear, in my pocket, and I go outside and I take a walk and I plug someone in like Les Brown or even Kobe Bryant or some of these guys and gals who have had success, but they've had difficulties, so that it can just remind me that everyone walks through these times, and it re-inspires me and remotivates me. So I also listen to podcasts daily and YouTube's daily so that I can, first of all, relax and listen to somebody else teach, and then I act and I do something based on what I've been learning. It helps me to hear about other people's difficult times, as I mentioned earlier. So it's essential for you when you're weary to step out and do something to take care of yourself. The last thing is physical and mental rest, set boundaries and practice mindfulness. And for me, my mindfulness is prayer and meditation on the Bible, but yours might look different and be different. And number two, when you have an overwhelming feeling, just do one thing towards your goal. Just don't even think. This is what I do. I say things out loud. I don't think, I just do. So if I'm feeling overwhelmed, discouraged, or depressed, or whatever I'm battling, I do one thing. I pick up my phone and I call somebody, a client, or I drop an email off, or I put a letter in the mail. I do one thing that helps me push beyond that discouraging moment to get to the next level. And then I feel like, okay, I've accomplished something. I've done something. You could also write a blog post, right? You could do something else. I would maintain that thanks are the highest form of thought, and that gratitude is happiness doubled beyond by wonder. G.K. Chesterton. So my next thing that I would do, but I actually do this first. Just like this first. And that is this: maintain thanksgiving and a grateful heart. We have seen, I can't even believe what we've seen over the past weeks of loss of life, loss of livelihood, loss of property, and so many things that I am thankful every day. My grandchildren are alive. My sons are doing well. My family's doing well. I have an office, I have a desk, I have food to eat, I have wine to drink. Yeah, Terry. Cheers. I have coffee, like I think about the small things. And I sit outside and I can read my Bible, or I have a Bible, or I have freedom. I'm a female, I'm a widow, and I am over 50 and I can have a business, So thankfulness and gratefulness. And for me, the Bible says, be thankful and grateful in all things and for all things. So even if a difficult thing happens, I can be thankful. So this is very, very important to us. Whatever your faith and your belief system is, being thankful and being grateful is so huge. Use your support network, which is what we're doing right now. I've called Terry so many times, it's not even funny. I have her on speed dial. And if I have a problem or a situation or something I need help with, I know I can reach out to somebody. So that's really the primary purpose of why Sharon took over this responsibility. And that is for the support side, that we can reach out to one another, that we can answer questions, we can work together. Whether we hire a coach or a mentor or a teacher or not, we should be doing that. We should be the greatest support network ever of everyone's business and knowledge, and not be ashamed or afraid of that, because their knowledge is, everyone's knowledge here is important and vital. And one piece of information can move your business to the next level. I pay for a coach, and I highly recommend that you consider doing the same, because again, they're going to help you move forward, because you have freedom to ask questions in the group. You have freedom to call and visit with somebody. I totally just emailed Twyla or texted her. I don't even know what I did, but somehow reached out to her. But call somebody and get to know them, get to know their background, get to know their skill set and what they're good at. And when you need them, reach out to them. But that's what the support is network is here for. Book recommendations. James Clear, Atomic Habits, which is phenomenal. If any of you have read that book, put it in the chat. So good. Just, making small changes your trajectory of where you're heading. Oh my gosh, and it's so good. Go back and reread. It's just really a great book. He's got some great things. Brian Tracy is an old school self-help guy, and he has something so good to say, and it is, create good habits and make them your master. So going back to speaking things out, create good habits and make them your master. And something I learned too is feed, focus, starve distractions. How many of you guys get distracted so many times throughout the day? That doesn't help your discouragement at all, or any of your difficult days. So feed, focus, starve distractions. I have that on a note card, and I read that every single day. So create an actionable list. What 3 things can I do today to build my business? So everyone has a little different setup in their life on how they should respond or react in different ways, and how they check things off on their list. And what I do is I take 3 hours of focused major project time. I just finished writing a book, and I wrote the book. I had a desire to do it, and I've been putting it off for quite a while. But I needed to get into, before I write my personal story, I needed to get into writing my book on the mobile gift wrapping business. And I took a challenge during the month of December, which is the worst time of our entire year, right? To do such a thing. But I thought, if I could do that, then that's going to help me launch. And so I decided to be up at, my kids didn't, my sons are in their 30s. I have 9 grandchildren, as I mentioned earlier. And they did an interview. It was very cool. They did a launch for me, with me. We all had wine, except for my son, who's a sheriff deputy, because he was out deputizing. And, we did a cheers to the book launch. And they asked me this question, Mom, how is it that you wrote this book in this crazy time? Because they know my schedule. And I said, I just faced my resistance and sat down in my chair and wrote every day at 2 a.m. for an hour. And that's how you form a good habit. You resist the temptation to not do something and you do it. So set up time to schedule 3 hours of focused work every day, whether that's sales calls, blog writing, whatever. Turn your phone off or turn it over, put it in a different room. But 3 hours of focus, not all at the same time, because I can't do that. But you can do increments of your 3 hours. And then you can do your 3 major tasks, then do 3 medium tasks, like maybe even fold your laundry. That actually helps me to do stuff like that. And then 3 minor tasks, 3 things you can do in a 5-minute time frame really helps you grow your business. Because for me, if I don't have my laundry done, it distracts me. So, or if my dishes aren't done, it distracts me. So do some small things. That kind of helps you as well. So long-term survival strategies. So put in the chat right now, again, what's happening in your business that you need to focus on moving forward. Long-term survival strategies. And I think Terry said it really well earlier. Smaller businesses can pivot. So don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to make a change. Don't be afraid to drop something. Twyla said that, I think. Who said that? Sharon. I don't remember. It was all so good. Be willing to innovate, pivot, adapt, iterate. Embrace new trends in the gift basket industry. Be open to involving your business model. Tomorrow, I'll be sharing on how you can launch a mobile gift wrapping business alongside your gift basket business. And why is that good? Because somebody who may want you to make their gift basket, they don't know that you might add gift wrapping. Gift wrapping is incredibly profitable for your business. You're already making bows. You know, consider reading The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. So good. He is a stoic. I don't necessarily believe in stoicism. I don't even know how you say the word, being a stoic. But I love philosophy. So I do incorporate it into my thinking on a regular basis. And he really helps you think about adapting and innovating your mindset in your business and in your personal life. And so figure out how you can add something and iterate or change. Somebody talked about just some of your baskets, even, you know, what we do, because we're in the luxury space, how could we iterate ourselves and that do $25 to $35 gifts? I mean, people are struggling right now. So we're not going to be unwise to that. And, you know, we're going to meet somebody where they're at, but we'll take it and we'll wrap it so beautifully that elevated at the $10 gift, it looks amazing. So ask yourself, what can you do today to identify one new trend or idea that you can incorporate into your business? So again, you know a little bit about Nifty, and our mission is profound. We're here to spread joy. That's what we want to do. And I share with other women. We're licensing and franchising so that you can add on to your business, and not you, others across the nation who don't even have a gift basket business, but they want to do that. But I love that focus, and it's easy to be distracted. We're very big on our values and our core values as a business. We have them posted everywhere as well. We always go back and reiterate our core values every February and January, because we look over the past year and see about what we did and how we meet our goals and our mission and set ourselves up for the year coming up. Anyway, thank you. I am going to shut this off now, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
That was awesome, Michelle. Thank you so much. And we all go through these times where it's difficult, whether it's in your business or in your personal life, or, you know, the lives of your family and friends. We always go through this. So that was very helpful, what you just talked about. And I hope everyone will take that to heart and take better care of themselves when there are hard times. And now we're just going to launch right forward with Sheila Horvath and Lisa Payton. They're going to talk about retail, yes or no. And Lisa, let me give you, I think you're on, I saw your little pretty face a minute ago.
I'm on. I was running around. I'm gonna come back on camera.